My name is Mike Pettis. I'm the Interim Director of Public Safety. I was appointed to this position in June of 2018. And I've been employed with the Public Safety Department since 1995. The responsibilities of the Public Safety Department. We are responsible for all the public safety services within the city. We provide advanced life support, fire rescue operations, and police services. We do this with 29 sworn officers, 5 paramedics, and 7 paid on-call firefighters. And 29 is our bare minimum number. That's the number that we need to, that we've talked about several times, about keeping 5 personnel here to address police, fire, and EMS issues. Our next slide here is a 3-year budget comparison. The first 2 columns are actual numbers, the 2017-2018 budget, 2018-2019 budget, which is our final numbers. Our proposed budget, the third line for 2019-20, which we're currently in right now, and then the proposed. If you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see there's a $20,000 reduction from last year to this year. Minimal changes in all of those numbers. Almost exclusively, these numbers are driven by personnel costs, and all that associated with that. I included several on here: vacation pay, holiday pay, part-time employees, overtime, which we talk about a lot, contractual services, professional development, which is training. Those numbers are, the last couple of years have been higher than normal, and that's just due to the transitioning of this department from an older department to a younger department, trying to keep up with certifications and all things police, fire, and EMS. Clemis, again, fixed numbers. Sarisa, that number all the way to the right, the 260,630, is our final contract year for Sarisa services. Sometime during this 2020-2021 budget, we will be looking at becoming a full member of Sarisa. They provided good service with us. They work well with all our mutual aid companies, but that is the final year of the contract. Again, these aren't every line item, obviously, on here, but these are the ones that I chose mostly because they had some change in them. A lot of them didn't. The FICA, the MERS numbers on there, a lot of these numbers, other than overtime, I really don't have a lot of control over. It's contract driven, it's service driven, things like that. You'll see the only other thing I'll note on here that you'll see in the 2018-2019 budget for wages, the $2.1 million. Again, no time in that budget did we ever hit our full manning number. And then the 2019-2020 budget, we had, I believe, 3 months of full manning numbers. So you have to budget for that full amount. With the crisis that we're kind of going through right now with all the fire academies and police academies being shut down, that's going to push that number of full staffing back. We have people in the training program that were in these academies that were pulled from these academies due to that. So it will be another battle to get back to that 29 for some time. The 2020-21 total budget is $6,742,413. That's with the same number of personnel from the year prior, which I've always stressed that 29 is our minimum number that we can operate safely and efficiently. A reduction of approximately $22,000 from the prior year. Very limited capital needs or capital expenses. And as I'll show you, the capital needs that I do have are funded through non-public safety department budgets, meaning IT, the motor pool, the DPW, things like that. And I'll talk about that briefly. But again, this budget, this 6.7, is driven almost exclusively on personnel costs and contractual obligations that we don't have a lot of control over due to just the nature of that. So you'll see there's no increases in wages from the year prior. Again, a small increase could be sustained, cost of living increase in that number. You'll see the reduction of the public safety fleet by 1. I'll explain that in a minute. And minimal capital purchases that the next slide will address. I was able, through my proposed budget, to reduce our fleet by 1, and I will explain that here in a minute. Our L3 is our in-car video system, and it says the back-end upgrade. That just means it's not the actual cameras in the car. Those are operating well. They are under warranty. The back-end upgrade is in the building, the server, all the computer software that supports those cameras. That needs to be updated. That's an essential piece of equipment. Once you put cameras in a car, you can't take them out. If a camera does not work, it's 100% out of service. We do not operate police vehicles that do not have in-car cameras available in them, and that's for liability reasons. Once you have them, you have to maintain them. They have to be in the cars. The 2 patrol vehicles directly below that is to follow the schedule that we're on through our lease program for vehicles. Every 5 years, those cars get up to over $100,000, and that's just keeping on track with the plan that we have in place through the motor pool to replace our patrol vehicles every 5 years. The next thing under there is a fire department utility truck replacement. Again, this, just like the L3 is in the technology budget, this utility truck would essentially come out of motor pool. And we're looking at to replace the utility truck, which is currently over 20 years old, with a very similar but less frills pickup truck, more of a standard pickup truck that we can still use for training purposes, for bottles and fire scenes, for getting personnel to and from different scenes. And with this truck, we'll be able to utilize this truck. The fire sergeant will be able to utilize this truck and replace or reduce. He currently drives a Ford Fusion. I believe it's a Fusion. We would be able to return that, and he could use that utility truck. So we would sell the utility, use those funds to buy the utility, and also reduce the fleet by 1 by getting rid of a Ford Fusion that the current fire sergeant uses. And just I threw this in here for the 2021-2022 budget. We will need to replace Engine 4. Engine 4 is on its last leg as a primary attack vehicle for the fire service. Once it hits 25 years, specifically that vehicle needs to be replaced. And again, we've talked about this in the past. I think that would be a good purchase for next year to use out of our gambling forfeiture fund. It's allowable. We would get a very efficient and not a lot of frills rescue engine that would be our backup engine on all fires. It would respond to all vehicle accidents, hold all of our extrication equipment. And again, that's not for a year from now, but again, I wanted to put this in this presentation because that will be in next year's proposed budget as well. So the overview of my budget, it's really very similar to ones prior. It's reduced by $20,000. There's no increase in wages, even though a cost of living wage would be able to sustain, would be able to be accommodated in this budget. Limited capital cost. We're keeping our equipment as long as we can. I've talked about this at length in the past, from radio purchases to equipment to we don't buy things because we want to have the top of the line of everything. We buy things when we need them, and it's an essential for the services that we provide. We'll continue to only make upgrades and purchases when necessary. We look at this all the time. Again, there's a lot of wants versus needs, and I think we do a pretty good job with that. All of our contracts were reviewed for cost savings. Very limited amounts and very limited contracts that we have as far as contractual services for investigations and medical pickup and medical cleaning. We continue to monitor that. And again, with this proposed budget, we would be able to reduce the fleet by 1 vehicle. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.